So we left off right about here last time, getting the JSON from our REST API that lists all of the genres we have in our database. And you probably noticed something that I should have, but did not, which was rather sloppy on my part. But here in this JSON feed, and I'm looking at the representation that Firefox gives me, but I can look at the raw data. So let's go to raw data and pretty print. I do have a wrapper of genres, which is good, and I have one entry for each of the genres, but I only have the genre name, and I need the ID here. So let's go back and fix that, and that's a really simple fix. So back in my REST API, in my backend code written in Go, I'm looking at the models file, and here for the type genre, I'm telling Go not to include ID in any JSON that it produces. And I'll fix that just by putting ID there instead. Stop this and start this, and go back to my web browser. And when I reload this, I should have ID, and I do, exactly as it should. So that was an oversight on my part. Now, we want to go back to our front end. So right now, we do have a genres page, but it doesn't display anything. And all we need to do now is to go and hook up the necessary calls to our back end to actually produce this information. So most of it is there already. So let's go look at it, and I'll go to my source code right here. Okay, so I'm looking at genres.js, and there's one other thing that I overlooked, which again was sloppy on my part, and it's this. On the fetch statement, on the first then, the second then, sorry, where I say set state, I'm actually telling it to take JSON's genres field, the wrapper, and put it in movies. And I'm not actually using that property anywhere. There is no property movies. That's supposed to be genres, like that. Okay, now when I come down here, I'm actually using genres, but I'm not using isLoaded or error. And the easiest way to do that is to copy code that's exactly the same. So in movies.js, let's get these lines in the render function, copy them, go back to genres.js, paste them in here, right here, paste, and give this a closing curly bracket and format it. And now when I go back to my web browser, there are the genres. So home genres. And that works exactly as I hoped it would. Now we can make this a little bit prettier, and we'll do that later on, but right now I'm only worried about functionality. Adding some styling is really not that difficult, and we'll do it a bit later on. But the next step, of course, is to have, when I click on one of these, to go and display a page that lists all of the movies for a given genre. And right now we only have this one, drama, and this one, crime, with any information whatsoever. But we need to look for the root /genre/SOMEID and then display a component that renders the movies that fall within a given genre. And we'll get started on that in the next lecture.